Hi, this is Ray Lago, and you're listening to the one and only Marvel Card Collectors Podcast.
Right, that is recording. Hello, everybody. My name is Ian Taylor, and welcome to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast, brought to you by the Marvel Cards Fan Collective, an awesome community of card collectors and creators. You can find our two groups on Facebook, details of which are at the end of this podcast, so come check us out. With me is my co-pilot in all things Marvel cards. For a guaranteed good time and 90 minutes of hard hobby mouth, dial 1-800-COLLECT-CARDS and speak to Norrin Rad.
Hello.
Hard hobby mouth.
I love it. I love it.
We actually do need to set that chat line up. That could be a good income stream for us.
I'm in. That sounds good.
1-800-COLLECT-CARDS. I'm not sure entirely how that would work because we don't tend to do that whole letters as numbers things here. But yeah, we can do that. How have you been?
Good.
Still indoors?
Indoors. Same walls around me over and over again. I've been walking in circles around a room, peeling up the yellow wallpaper, trying to see what's underneath. But, you know, why? You look concerned.
No, I just started having mental images of the Shining movie.
Hell yeah.
You're chopping down the door. Here's Norrin.
That's where the surfer card was hiding.
Welcome everybody. This is, what day is it today? It's Sunday today. Not that means anything to anyone listening because we normally drop this on Thursday, and it's normally I don't know what I'm saying. I've got coffee, but it's not. Man. Yeah, I've got coffee. They're merging into one. I've got coffee here, but
dude, I have no idea what day it is. Oh, if I wasn't playing Animal Crossing, I would have no idea what day it was.
What is Animal? Is that one of those games that you get on Facebook?
So good. Yes. So it's like on the Nintendo Switch. It's very addicting. Wife and I play, and it's just very, very addicting. But you basically play a game over a year, and every day something new happens, type of stuff. And then you kind of get into your own psychotics and all this other stuff. But it's what's keeping us sane on the quarantine aspect.
Well, if it's keeping you sane, then by all means, go for it.
Doing it.
As long as you're not putting bodies under the patio, that's the main thing.
No, basement.
So last week was our second full episode on video.
Yes.
And I've got to say, hats off to you, brother.
Hats off to you, brother.
No, to you. You're the one who did. Look, you're the one. We just talked about this before we started recording. You're the one who had to wait 5 hours for the thing to render and then import to YouTube. So
it's just long, so it just takes a long time. But
and the video,
it's okay. It's worth it. I mean, going through that whole tutorial, if I had that when I first started collecting, EPAC would not have been so resistant to EPAC.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad we did it.
Yeah, I'm hoping people will find it useful. It's obviously, I haven't actually had a chance to listen to the audio of it yet. Normally I do listen to the audio a couple of times before the episode goes up. So I've not kind of listened back to it. So for those who listened to the audio of last week's episode and may have been a bit like, I'm getting the half of the experience. It was actually designed as a video episode. So do go to our Facebook page. It is on there. There's also a link to our YouTube channel, which is a fairly new thing. There's some stuff on there because it was a channel that you had, I think.
Yeah, so I just outfitted it for us, basically. Yeah. It was something I had for Sketch Card Hive, and since we're doing so much work together, I figured better suit the channel. Plus, people were asking for content from MCC Pod. So I was like, let's just merge the two and just keep it done.
Good. So this is where we need to throw it over to you fine listeners. We need subscribers to that channel, and I will put that channel in the tasting notes for this episode, and I will tweet it and put it on Instagram, although you can't do links in Instagram posts, which is slightly annoying. So what I might do is put a little QR code.
Ooh,
so you can just
fancy
with your phone, and there it goes.
I love it. Yes. Yeah. And, the more subscribers we get on that YouTube channel, and I think eventually we want to do kind of like things for you guys, like promotional stuff, opening boxes, giving away things. So I think we're just finally starting to merge onto that next venture.
Absolutely. Well, it is, because my daughter is currently downstairs watching Aladdin, the original, not the Will Smith version. Let's not talk about a blue Will Smith again on this podcast.
We'll ignore it.
It is a whole new world.
A whole new world.
Let's stop there. Anyway, right.
Don't blush. Me and my lovely, lovely voice.
It was you and your
I can't sing. I can't sing, though. I'm pretty terrible at singing.
This is, this is the thing for me. A lot of people say I can't sing. Everyone can sing. Not everyone can sing in tune.
Yeah, my wife straight up doesn't have it. Like, she thinks it's sweet when I sing in the car, but you can see like her like reach for the knob to turn a little bit higher the volume, just so like it can.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the knob as in to jump out the car when it's moving.
No, we did that once, but the medical bills were so expensive that
Yeah.
I told her we're not doing that again, so I'll just stop singing.
Stunt training. That's what you need.
Duck and roll, babe.
What I was going to say to you actually is not what I was going to say to you, but just before we jumped on. So I've been thinking about storage for my plan to move my sketch cards into
one touches.
And the difference, by the way, between the 25 point and the 35 point is so minimal. I realised I'd had 3 of them in 25 points, and then one of them was it's the hair's breadth, but when you line it up next to each other, it's like that is just slightly.
So this is the psychosis that I went into as well. For 25 points, I put printing plates. For 35, 55, I do sketch cards because I don't like the art on the glass. I like a little breathing room. Maybe that's wrong. If you know that's wrong, please let me know. Because it's something that keeps me up at night.
I mean, it's not a material. This type of plastic that they use for this isn't a material that would chemically interact with a paper product. One would imagine it's been designed to be safe for use because it is made for the archive safe, right? Just like penny sleeves are archive safe. Yeah. So I've got these normal width sketch cards in the 25 point ones, and I'm very happy with that.
Good, solid.
Good, because I found another one in that's a J. Lipson Black Cat, which I'm tasting that.
Actually, I really love that one.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think it's really nice.
Yeah. It's fine. I've got one from Marvel Annual. That's, and it's a nice one.
Oh, that's your check mark on that one.
So I've got one from that. So I've got 4 different sets represented by these 4 one touch. And I found, I was thinking about it, and there's a UK group called NFL Card Traders UK that I'm in because I got into NFL cards late end of last year, and boy, that's a rabbit hole.
I would think so.
And someone has done a custom job on an old wooden case they found, and they've obviously got mad skills on the woodwork side of things,
right?
And they've changed it up and put in inner compartments and all this sort of stuff. So it's kind of for want of a better word, it's a wooden version of your Pelican case, but old school, with like compartments in and different, and they've put an NFL logo into the veneer.
Yes, I know who you're talking. Yeah, I've seen those pieces. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, well, this one I'll put in the tasting notes. Brilliant. So I was looking around, and I've got this old. Well, it's not that old actually. Waitrose is quite a high-end supermarket in the UK, and Waitrose when you do a posh wine delivery, it comes in this, which is a rather nice wooden box with Waitrose wine written in there.
I want that. That's a nice box.
And it's rather nice. And this is where I'm going to...
No way. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me it's a perfect fit. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. Oh, son of a...
Leaves about 0.5 centimetre. So I've got, if I wanted to, I could put a little, very thin layer of padding around that. And I could just have them like that.
A little padding on the bottom, a lot of padding on the back.
Yeah. Also, if I wanted to, because there's room in the lid, I can do them upright as well. Or I could do them like, sorry, I'm trying to get on the camera.
No. Ooh,
I could do it
just
that
in case
way,
you run out of space.
Like that. So it's facing you as you open it.
See, that's what happened with me in my Pelican case. I wanted to. No, I love it. I love it. Love it. I'm so jealous.
These will
that's
be
an
amazing
color.
Waitrose deliver. And it's obviously, I mean, it's that's stained on the outside, but it's really nicely made. I mean, you can see it's got.
I think it looks lovely.
It's got proper hinging.
Yeah, those boxes are expensive, man.
I'll put pictures of these on the tasting notes. It's got a single catch. So this is fine for now, but I do actually want to get something that I've got a carry handle.
Yeah.
as
I
well.
like the Pelican case. They're expensive.
I
But
just want to show you that because I was playing with it just before we started recording, and the wooden box too. So
I love it.
So that's my new idea. I this week. So I didn't have anything kind of planned for this week because we did have an interview lined up for at some point this weekend, which keeps moving around because we've obviously got to fit with the interviewee. So I didn't have anything major in mind to talk about today. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to throw it open to people on the group, people on the social feeds, and just say, ask us anything. What do you want to talk about? You know, floor is yours. And I did it last night, and for the most part, I have to say, it was resounding silence. But then this morning, a couple of people did chime in, which I was like, phew, thank you for that. So, and
we have one from Matt Fuller, which I'll write down because I don't want to forget.
Oh, you do? Okay, good.
He
All
told me one because he's listening to everything. So
good. All right, thank you, Matt.
Awesome, dude.
Or as I like to say, thank you, Matt, because for some reason everyone knows Matt is Australian or South African in my head. I don't know.
I have that with names, though. No, I have that too.
G'day, Matt.
I have that with too.
Matt is a particularly pleasing name, say an Australian accent.
Yeah, my cousin's name is Matt, and I always say Matty. So I always call Matt's Matties. I guess that wasn't as interesting as the Australian South African thing, but
we'll move on. So, so some of these you haven't seen, some of these I haven't seen. So it's quite good. So this is
I didn't even see the post.
This is kind of a listener's questions. Yeah, that's because you were too busy doing deals for people. You're the card whisperer.
I am the card whisperer. That was funny. Cards. That was really funny.
You'll have to tell me about that. Anyway,
I'll have to tell you more. Yeah.
So, Danny Simon, first of all. Danny Simon kicked in. Good evening, Danny. Danny's a dude.
He is a dude.
He's one of the OG members of both groups, actually.
Oh, wow.
And he's mad into X-Men. In a big way, and
he has a great collection too.
Collection is
really solid.
So
really
he's asked, and this is something we didn't talk about on the EPAX 101 Part 2, even though it just happened, because I kind of wanted to let the dust settle a bit, and also we had that episode kind of planned out, so it was good to let it run its course, all 90 minutes and 5-hour video of it. So he's asked, I would like to hear your opinions about Marvel Weekly going forward. What do you think about the characters that were selected? Why no X-Men? Why repeat the same characters? And should Upper Deck change their policy on multiple accounts for the same customer? Thoughts? So for those who may not know, and for those who don't know what Marvel Weekly is, have a listen to, I think it's episode 3, I want to say. Episode 3, I think, was Marvel Weekly, where we talked about Marvel Weekly 2019. I'm just quickly going to my app to look and just check that. Is it scrolling for all the episodes? It was episode 2. It's close. Okay, so episode 2.
Almost there, Ian.
Back in the day. You know, I wasn't far off.
No, I mean, it wasn't far, but it wasn't like... But, whatever.
Back on the 18th of June 2019. By the way, we're approaching a year.
Are we really? I was going to ask you because, like, my conception of time is garbage.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Especially in internet. We are so having a birthday episode.
I want a birthday episode.
We're going to do a birthday episode because listen, we're fuck it. Let's do it for us.
I'm down. I'm party for 2.
I think we can probably get a few more people involved in that.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening, he does
4.
want to do something for our birthday episode, which will be the beginning of June.
We should do the birthday episode live.
All right, let's try and figure that one out. Yes.
Okay.
We'll try our very best on that one. But the birthday episode's coming. Anyway, Marvel Weekly has just started for 2020. And it started at the same time of the year, so it started in April, and it's planning again to run 9 months through to the end of 2020. So it's almost exactly the same configuration as 2019, in that every 4 weeks there's a new character cycle, and there's 4 weeks of release that go on sale at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is 12 noon Eastern time, 5 p.m. in the UK. Go on sale then, and you have to have another Marvel product in your basket to be able to select and purchase the Marvel Weekly packs. And in each Marvel Weekly pack, you get 2 cards. You get the base card for that week and one of 2 Comic Clash cards. So you need to buy at least 2 packs,
Mhm.
perfect collation to get the base and both Comet Clash, which will leave you with a spare base. Okay. Then randomly inserted over that 4-week cycle, you will have a negative variant of the first card in that 4-week cycle. So, for example, this year, the first character cycle was Ghost Rider. So card 1 will have a card -1. And you can pull one of 50 copies of that negative variant randomly as a third card in one of those packs over that 4-week cycle. This year, they've added in another variant, a Comet Clash short print variant, which is, I think, the same numbering, 50 of them. So, as if it wasn't mad enough as it was last year, they've added another chase variant into the 4-week cycle at the same rarity.
Is that negative only out of 50?
Yes.
Whoa. You're telling me that insert only has 50 sets?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. Oh, boy. I didn't know that.
You just did. Do you know that Nathan Fillion gif that goes around where Nathan Fillion is about to say something and he thinks the better of it? He goes, you just did that. That was hilarious. That was
because I was like, oh,
really funny.
I didn't know that.
That was the penny dropping.
That's good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. So I went in deep last year and I listened to the whole thing. I went for the whole thing. And I'll be honest with you, it was a bit of a chore because the problem is that everyone was flooding on at the time and they would sell out in less than 5 minutes. I think the first week it was an hour and something, and then after weeks 2 and 3 it became like 5 minutes. And on at least 2 or 3 occasions over the 9 months of 2019, the site actually crashed. It's quite a stressful experience getting the packs.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Because you also have to buy a Marvel pack.
You have to buy something else. So
it's kind of like an add-on type of thing to a pack. Yeah.
So I remember saying last year that Marvel Annual 2016 was the cheapest entry fee to Marvel Weekly because it was only $2.99 for a pack.
Yeah, smart.
So you could have one of those in your basket already, have that in your basket ready, and then when you refresh the store at on sale time, Marvel Weekly, instead of it being locked, it will be available for you to select. And believe me, you need to have that product in your basket beforehand because that few seconds is everything.
Precious.
So this year as well, they have put in an achievement for those negatives.
Oh.
So, and I think this is not quite what Danny asked, but my issue with it is it was already a difficult chase. So I think the set was actually designed and conceived and well along the way of planning and process before last year's product had fully rolled out and they'd had learnings from it.
Yeah.
So they've just let it run because I actually think it's so frustrating. Last year was so frustrating for so many people to try and buy it.
Yeah.
Because once you collect all 4 cards in a cycle, you get an achievement card for that.
Right.
And then you can redeem all 9, because there's 9 cycles of 4 weeks. You can redeem all 9 of those achievement cards for 1 Frozen in Time achievement card, which is like an acetate plexi card.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And then the Comet Clash, you do the same. If you get every Comet Clash, you get a Frozen in Time for that. So there's 2 Frozen in Time achievements that you get at the very end. And you need both of those Frozen in Time achievements to get 1 sketch card. And because
you need both of them.
And that's what drove everyone nuts. Because as soon as the product finished last year, the market's flooded with redeemed base and Comet Clash cards that you can pick up for nothing. So you can actually, if you're not fussed about the sketch, you can actually get the Frozen in Time achievements from 2019 for $7 to $10 on comps.
Yeah, they're not expensive,
and you can get the set fairly affordably as well. So for this year, me personally, I'm sitting it out this year because with everything going on virus-wise, I don't that commitment. I probably spent easily $500-600, maybe $700 across the 9 months. But then again, I did put together 2 full sets.
Yeah, you're a beast, man.
But I did then sell one of those sets, excluding negatives, but every other card, but redeemed, including the 2 Frozen in Time achievements. I think I sold it for $150. So I got
That's not bad.
got the 2 sketches. So
That's not bad at all, man. Because like those sketches, you're looking at over 150 each, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then because they're such rare sketches.
Yeah.
And then also smart. And then also
Ballards.
That's right. I saw those Ballards. Those are great cards. You killed it.
So so it's interesting. So this year, what they've done with it is it went on sale on Monday, and someone I'm gonna be editing this episode. I know, because I tend to put the bleeps in. Someone done up.
Someone
Tell you, boy. Someone.
Tell you, boy.
Oh, someone done up in here.
Messed up there.
Someone messed up. Yes, you messed up. So they basically, what happened is on Monday at 9 a.m. it went bonkers. It was late appearing on the site, and then when it did appear, it appeared, and you could buy. I think they ended up selling about 50. They ended up selling about 3 times as many packs, and people were opening them and pulling cards from all across the 9-month run. So everyone knows what every card is because they've all been on e-packs.
So they all know the characters already.
They know the characters. This is why Danny's question is a good one. So the first character, Ghost Rider, wasn't in last year, but they repeat Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They repeat Captain America.
Right.
They repeat Captain Marvel. And why no X-Men? I think that could be a rights thing. Likely.
I have a theory, but I'm not going to say the theory.
Oh, okay.
Unless you think I should say the theory.
Well, say the theory, because we can always edit it out, but at least then I'll know what you're talking about for the purposes of this podcast.
Well, if you can't read my mind, Ian, then what are we doing here? Okay? What are we doing here? So here's my theory. A lot of things are happening at Upper Deck. I'm sure we're editing this out, which is fine. I think I don't know if they're going to do physical as much.
Oh, don't say that.
I know nobody wants to hear it, but this is my prediction. I could be wrong. What do I know? But looking at
quite a lot has happened.
Quite a lot has happened that is gearing me towards this. And we know one of the big things, which is Upper Deck didn't lose.
Upper Deck trimmed their employees.
There you go. That's beautifully said.
As we, which is, I don't think that's any secret. It's in the public domain.
It's not.
Companies across
everywhere,
America are doing it, especially in America. I mean, the UK, it's slightly different because the government has basically put in a scheme so that companies can furlough staff, and the government will pay up to a certain amount to the company to retain the employee so that they don't make them redundant. Whereas I think in America, certainly my main client, which is why I'm furloughed, shed 90% of their staff. And it happened exactly the same day that Upper Deck shed their staff. So as we talked about previously, Upper Deck Matt is no longer, it's just Matt.
Who's the Marvel architect. So he's a major architect.
So he's the guy behind, a lot of the design.
He's the dude. He's the one who designs it. We have an episode on it, and he's fantastic.
Yeah. So go back and listen to it. So listen, I don't, Marvel Weekly, ultimately, Matt's big enough and ugly enough, although he is quite easy on the eye.
He is easy on the eye, for sure.
To be able to take constructive criticism. I personally, I think, not all the decisions that happen about a card set and how it's released and how it's promoted sit with him as he explained.
At all. Not at all.
Marketing, there's people in other parts.
They're working in very restrictive parameters.
Yeah, but there's also different teams within companies. So,
exactly.
So they get together, they have a big meeting, the set is designed, and then they all go off and do their separate bits. So I think it's good for us to be able to give constructive feedback to Upper Deck.
I think so too.
But in this case, they messed up, and they know they messed up. And so as a result, 2 days after this, they put it on sale properly for the remaining number of packs that still were there that had Ghost Rider cards. So however many of that Ghost Rider Week 1 hadn't been pulled.
Right, it's not pulled.
So they put those on sale properly, in which case, however many packs went on sale on the Wednesday, I think, and you would know that you would just get the Ghost Rider card number 1 and Comic Clash 1 or Comic Clash 2 plus anything else. All the other cards that were released erroneously stay in the EPAC system, so you can still see them. So whenever you go, and you could see this on last week's video, they still show as TBD, unreleased items.
Mm-hmm.
That's really unusual. You usually only see that in the few minutes after a new product's release while the system catches up with itself. But these are there, and they're permanently there. And you can go and see these yourself. So you can see who all the characters are. Now, some of them I like. I like Giant Man is the last character in the run.
Oh, cool.
Week 9, which I think is really cool. I've saved the images of all these, and for the life of me, I can't remember all the characters now.
I can't either. That's why I'm looking at you. I'm like,
I think Black Widow was in there.
Yes.
I want to say Black Widow was in there, which makes sense because of the movie. So I think it's interesting what they've done with it. But what they also did is they refunded everyone who bought on that Monday and let them keep the cards.
Rightfully
so. Some people have been madly scurrying around and have most of the full run to be ready for their sketch redemption. So some people have been actively trading towards it. How close they are, I don't know, but I've seen people doing it on EPACs. Should Upper Deck change their policy on multiple accounts for the same customer? I don't know. I remember seeing it's very unusual that someone can buy more. 10 packs is your limit in one purchase on EPAC, regardless of the product.
For weekly?
No, for regardless of the product. It stops at 10. So if you
can't you type in how many packs you want, or you have to do boxes after that?
No, you can't. If after that, you can go to boxes and you can go to cases, and then you can go higher. But on packs, it's 10.
Wow.
Okay. So when you're buying packs, you can buy 10 in one go. Now, normally, the transaction time takes a certain amount of time, and they sales out so quick that you wouldn't be able to then loop back once you finish that first transaction and buy again.
Right.
Some people, because of the mess up with the on sale and the fact that it didn't appear to cap and it kept going on the Monday, some people were saying that they bought 40 packs, and I think, okay, that's fine. Me personally, I think that's a little bit of a thing to do because it denies other people. Yeah, it denies other people the opportunity to be able to get into the set and own it. And ultimately, for me, I think it's a bit greedy. But some people I know last year had multiple accounts, so they had more than one account with Upper Deck, and they probably had it logged in different browsers. And some people, I'm absolutely certain of it, had so many cards that they probably used some sort of bot program to automate the buying process. Which you see in ticketing all the time. Is very, very close parallel to the sort of on sales that you see in live event ticketing. So should Upper Deck change their policy on multiple accounts for the same customer? I don't know what their policy is on this. That's the thing.
I wonder if they should do a limit, though. I mean, like, you know what? Instead of a limit, like an all-day limit, like 2 packs is all you can get or something weird like that. You can do like 5 packs every hour. You know what I mean? That way, I don't know, something with some time difference there, so you can kind of help stack people's ability to come into the website to pick something up. Because I think the biggest problem is, I was talking to Matt Fuller about this actually.
Good evening,
Matt, buddy. He was saying that, I mean, he even posted it. He was like, so I'm 4 minutes in and I can't get anything. And it's just like this really frustrating thing to go there and all of a sudden everything's gone within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stacking it throughout the day, like have different time slots, I'm like 3 or 4 time slots where you go here, you have 9, 12, 2, and 4. And then people can go in at those times to buy a limited amount. I don't know.
Yeah. It's, well, I see having worked in ticketing for over 2 decades.
Yeah, you would know more about this than I would.
The same thing. So from a customer point of view, it is that frustration because in ticketing, you see a famous act, say a Foo Fighters, goes on sale at 9 a.m. 9:03, it's sold out. And 9:07, you see it flooding the secondary market. People selling it at marked up prices, which is kind of effectively what you see on the Upper Deck system because you see, and it's pretty much the only, when they release any other product, it doesn't tend to do what it does with weekly, but because weekly is limited and it's a timed thing, they effectively create their own Foo Fighters on sale once a week.
Yeah. Well, we just saw the crazy eBay listing by whatever his name is or her name.
We'll edit his name out, but yes.
Yeah, whatever. That person's selling packs on eBay at a price up.
No, they're just, you mean Marvel Weekly packs?
No, so this is other packs. So now they're selling packs off ePack through eBay at a higher price.
Yeah, I've seen individual cards being sold at a high price
Now they're doing packs.
on there. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And it very clearly says, that it's very cleverly written, the spiel in it. It goes, why spend time hunting and trading for this card when you can just buy it now straight away from me? And it's a card that you could buy a physical copy of on ComC for $2 or $3, and it's on at $20, and it's a fairly common Flea Ultra Spider-Man card, and you just get it transferred to you on ePack. So you have to have an ePack account to do it. I mean, Good luck to you. If anyone's silly enough to pay that, then come to me, give me half the trade value, and I'll give you 2 copies of that card. Seriously, it's just, we'll let it
we bring this stuff up too because the people in the group, we're all friends here. Even if we have tiffs and stuff like that, all of us, no one wants to see the other collector get ripped off.
No, I don't want to see that. So in the case of Marvel Weekly, should they change their policy on multiple accounts for the same customer? I guess my question is, and it may be there, I've just not seen it, is there a policy for multiple accounts for the same customer? I do think that from a point of view of managing site traffic, a peak period like that, there are definitely some improvements that need to be made. Your user experience shouldn't be one of frustration and resentment. Quite a few people who went through Marvel Weekly 2019 have said they wouldn't do it again, me included. If you have this many customers in such a small hobby and such a small market, and I say that with emphasis because it feeds into another question someone else has asked, going away feeling a bit beaten up by the experience and it not being a pleasant thing to collect, so they've had to endure collecting, not enjoy collecting, then you're not doing, hopefully this will be taken as constructive criticism at Upper Deck. That's not something you want your customers going away feeling. I'm sorry, but no business in their
100%
mind would want a customer feeling like they've been beaten up to obtain a product, even if it's one of limited supply.
Yeah.
You get to the point where they'll be like, I'm not going to bother going through that experience again, because it wasn't, the value exchange of getting the product wasn't worth the experience of trauma that I went through to get it.
I hear that all the time from people. People tell me, no, they're not dealing with it ever again. And those people are gone.
Yeah. And I work with, in a marketing agency that work on CX and user experience in all sorts of retail FMCG brands. The last thing you want is for someone to go away feeling unhappy, because that turns into negative word of mouth, and negative word of mouth in a hobby this small isn't good for you. I think we've covered Marvel Weekly on that one, because we have other questions.
Other questions?
We have. Believe it or not, other people dropped in. So,
other people.
Do you want to do your Matt one, and then I'll come back? We can tag team it. Yep.
Yes. Okay. So Matt, so me and Matt were talking, and he's listening to our episodes. He's catching up, and we're having a good chat. And he was like, "So here's a question for you, and you can ask this on the podcast. Ian, you don't have to worry about this question, but I guess in a hypothetical way, you could." He asked me, "So, are you dreading or are you excited when the ban is lifted for the Surfer?" And then that's kind of a question I want to put out there, right? And he wanted me to kind of answer on air. Is that something I'm scared of or something I'm excited about? And I, all my character collectors out there who have banned characters, what is it for you? I mean, for me personally, it's definitely dread. As much as it is excitement, it is definitely dread as well, because I'm just like, this is going to be a feeding frenzy and things are going to be so impossible to get. Because right now surfers are just as impossible to get, I guess. So not much would change, but definitely rare occurrences. I was just wondering, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty fascinating question to ask.
Well, my take on it would be, you've been slightly blessed. And I think the fact that you've ventured a little bit into other characters is kind of, and the fact that you did that Zenlar Archives thing where you visually documented your Silver Surfer collection in pretty much order of card release in a very creative way,
Thank you.
As is your skill. But you kind of pretty much did it, and you've done start to finish, and you've said yourself a number of times that there's only a few things you need to get now. So it's like you've been in a position whereby, okay, that's kind of, I've got that collection. I enjoy that collection. And now it's kind of, the bush is grown. I'm just slightly clipping it every now and again, like those people who do topiary and those bushes.
Ooh, yes, like a little bonsai surfer tree. Okay.
Those big ornate gardens that
topiary,
like
right.
shaped like flamingos and polar bears and
Edward Scissorhands. I get
washing machines. Yeah, that kind of thing. So occasionally you're just going in there with a little pair of tweezers and just going.
I love this imagery. Yes, this is exactly how I collect.
But that's kind of, you have kind of had that grace period.
Yes,
where you've been able to catch up, aside from a couple of white whales that are still out there that you want to hunt down. So from a point of view of someone who hasn't had that respite, I actually haven't had that respite. And if anything, my character has probably peaked popularity with her own ongoing series that's been going just over.
That's so true. I never thought how different it would be for you and I on this.
So for me, I breathed a massive sigh of relief when she wasn't in Marvel Premiere 2019, when she wasn't in Marvel Masterpieces 2018, because it's like, thank goodness for that.
Here's a break.
I just attacked head on and thought, well, let's just deal with that straight away. So that was done, within a...
Yeah, you killed that.
I nailed it. Because there's only 4 cards to go for. Marvel 80th was a little bit painful. The fact that they had a Marvel 80th sketch card of that character, and I still don't have one of those, or 5x7 is a bit frustrating. So, but generally speaking, in terms of pack cards, I'm still catching up. So I have had a little bit of time to catch up. So I'm still chasing Fleer Ultra Spider-Man. I need a green Black Cat. There's only 10 of those, but I need a green. I think, and obviously the gold one of one. I've got 2 of the plates, and I've got a Patton foil in E-Pack, so I'm pretty much done on the PMG side of things. I've got the rainbow web foil. I'm probably not going to do because there's not enough on E-Packs for me to do it.
You'll get it eventually.
Yeah, but I'm about halfway there, but I'm not actively chasing after them now.
Oh, I see what you mean.
There's so few on there, and people do actually need a single copy for their collection. That's pretty much most of the people on E-Packs have got.
No, and you know what? I'll be honest too, man. It's the difference between Ian and I collecting is that, and I'm honestly, in all honesty, when you collect a girl character, it is so much harder competition out there.
Yep.
110%. Like, because I go for, I'm at 75, by the way, Calypsos.
Oh, web foils.
Yeah, pretty good, right?
Yeah,
I'm at 75. Yeah. So, actually, I've been attacking like new collectors. So I keep the list open, and then when I see someone new pulled one, I ask them. And so it's been working out really nicely. Really nice people. Anyway, collecting her is so much harder than collecting Spot. So much harder than collecting Spot. Just because people are like, in love with the art. It's more of a male-heavy hobby, unfortunately, all this kind of stuff. So I what Ian does is miraculous, because to collect a character who's so sought after, this takes a lot of patience. Skill. No, seriously, it's impressive. It's really impressive.
I also, that's one of the reasons why I've started going after Spider-Gwen, because for me, Spider-Gwen starts at a certain, for everyone, Spider-Gwen starts at a certain point.
Yeah.
So I've decided to start a side piece of Spider-Gwen.
She's great.
Because I dig her. And Spider-Gwen, I'm a little bit, part of me wants to get every card that she's been on, but some people draw in a very manga stroke anime style, and that's not my thing at all. I like my female
at all.
My females, I don't dig the anime manga style, and a lot of people draw Spider-Gwen in that ilk. It's just not my cup of tea. It's wrong with it. It's just not for me. But the so as we know, I've got the Spider-Gwen Legacy rainbow now. The rainbow web rainbow. Sorry. Start again here. Reboot. The rainbow web foil for Spider-Gwen, I've decided I'm not going to go for.
Okay, cool.
So I'm stopping at a silver web foil on that.
That's fine.
But I'm on the base Spider-Gwen. I'm about 60 there.
Wow.
60 now. So I'm still going with that. And again, the Spider-Gwen web rainbow I'm not going after, so I'm going to stop at a 10.
Right there.
Yeah. Because I'm happy with that, because I've also now got a gold auto for 2 of the 3 legacy characters.
I love those gold autos, man. They're so awesome.
There's that triptych by Luis Royo of Spider-Woman, Silk, and Spider-Gwen, and that are part of the same image. So basically, I've gone for a mini bow of those. So I've got base of each. I've got a web foil of each. I've got a silver of each, regular silver.
Yeah.
I'm going to hopefully pick up, but I can do this buying them, just a single silver web foil of each, and I've got 2 of the 3 gold autos. And I have obviously rainbowed the Spider-Gwen.
Wow.
So that'll look really nice. I know
that's going to look great, man. 2 9 pages right next to each other.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, so that's that. Side note on characters that come back in. You've started your little side quest characters because you've had a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, I started. I actually have the full Moonstar from Fleer Ultra X-Men.
Nice.
It's seen as a red. And I need a sketch of her from the series, but that's going to be next to impossible. And the red, I actually spoke to our homie who owns all the reds.
Mr. Fuxham.
Fuxham. Our boy Mr. Fuxham. And I actually spoke to him, really nice guy. And he told me what he was looking for. So unless I come across that, I don't think I'll get that red anytime soon.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I did.
It is.
Yeah, I did her, and I also have the full rainbow spot.
Yeah.
Like a full rainbow, which is crazy. I need more plates, but yeah. It's been fun to do side characters. I really like it, especially ones that are like new and have just come out, or like ones that are really hidden and not a lot of people know about. I think those are kind of fun to kind of like dip your toe into.
One thing I've enjoyed doing a lot, and this is not Marvel, it's on the Star Wars side, is since Greg McLaughlin, good evening, Greg, of the Rebel Base Card podcast, since we went on there, I've started dabbling a little bit into both the Star Wars Journey to the Rise of Skywalker and Star Wars Rise of Skywalker sets, and the number of different color parallels that they have is absolutely mind-blowing.
It's
and
insane.
one of the things I saw him doing, which I think I'm going to be doing, and I've got some of them, is I think there's 5 different color parallels on the Rise of Skywalker set in the UK issue of it. So I'm going to go for a particular card image across that color spectrum and do it that way. And I think the same is true with the heritage stock of the Journey to the Rise of Skywalker, which is
nice.
modeled on the old thing, which is quite a nice way of doing it, because there's no way I'm going to be able to complete. I think the purple, I think, is the color on Rise of Skywalker, and it's just crazy. I mean, it's ridiculously crazy.
No, that's a lot.
So anyway, so
cool,
that's but it's a different. It's finding fun ways to kind of do your own thing within the collecting. So as we mentioned, Greg, he did ask a question on the Twitter at the MCC Pod,
yes.
People of Twitterland, which is also our handle on Instagram. He asked, he's just tweeted us, brilliant, but that's something else. Do the Marvel Card Collectors Group play in the Marvel Collect Tops digital app? I know Norin has said he doesn't care for digital, but as fans of Marvel itself, it is a nice companion to e-packs, and there are free-to-play options with trading. Yeah, true that there are free things, but I think for me, I collect trading cards and I collect the cards. I don't build up collections of digital things.
Yeah, I don't think we see a lot of overlap on our section. I think the digital stuff, and I'm sure I'm wrong on this, I don't think the digital stuff is bad. I mean, some of the images they use are beautiful, because I've seen sales on eBay selling some digital cards.
That's the thing that people sell them.
Well, because I think they're limited, so they just trade them from account to account.
Yeah, I know, but still.
I know it is bonkers. I mean, it's a way to collect, and no harm, no foul, of course, no judgment whatsoever. I think the only reason I wouldn't do digital is because I'm already so far into physical. You know what I mean? Like, if it was something I liked and I was more stuck on my phone than I was, and it was kind of like my digital library and I was into the digital libraries, I think that would be something different. But we haven't really had, I think we maybe have
I think there's about 2 or 3 people in our group, and we've got
like less than 5% of people in our group who even brought it up.
Less than 2%. There's one fella who regularly posts on it, but the amount of
someone mentioned it for sure. Yeah.
There's a fellow in the group, Matthew, I think his name is. He often posts about it, and not many people come back. And we have this with EPAC is when collectors, especially the collectors that are coming back to the hobby from the 90s, come back to it, and they post about EPAC saying, I don't understand what this EPAC stuff is. I don't understand what it is. Why would anyone want to do that?
This just happened recently.
But that is the mindset that a lot of Marvel card collectors come at it from, because and for me, part of the enjoyment of the hobby is the one touch, is the binder, is the top loader, is the arranging physically. I would say
the archival, the physical, 100%.
And so yes, it's I'm a fan of Marvel. Yes, I'm a fan of Marvel, but I'm a fan of Marvel because I want to have this copy of Fleer Ultra X-Men Chromium in my hand. I want to be able to tilt it and look at the holograph effect on that. I want to look at the thickness of the card. And it very much is, from the Marvel cards point of view, it very much has a foot in the same camp as those who collect the comics.
And I think and you're absolutely right, 100%. It is the physicality of comics and cards that bridge together.
Yeah.
I think a lot for me, and this is how I can fall into things, like especially when Greg was telling us about Star Wars. I bought a Star Wars box packed because Greg screwed me and got me into it.
Greg is an enabler.
He's an enabler, that guy.
Yeah.
I love him. So I did it and I loved it, every minute of it. And I love seeing that card stack, and that was really fun. And that's the trick for me.
Yeah.
There's this nostalgia and sense of familiarity comes with a pack and opening and feeling cards. Like, as weird as that sounds, there is a sense of hominess to that, because I grew up collecting cards, Pokemon cards, Star Wars cards, anything I could get my hands on. And I don't have a massive collection because I'm very picky, but there is something to opening a pack and having a card in your hand and seeing what you get. And for me, it's not the gamble. A lot of people, it's the gamble. But for me, it's really that feeling of getting something special that you didn't know was coming to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes absolute sense. And it's really interesting, actually, because a lot of these questions do unintentionally, actually, and they're all from different people, feed into each other. So Robert Baker, do you ever go by Rob, or is it Robert? I mean, it says on Facebook Robert, so I'm not going to shorten it anyway. Good evening, Robert. Robert's a dude, really nice guy.
I think I've met him once or twice.
He sent a question.
Tell me it.
I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on what do you think they need to do to bring back everyone. So I was like, short of it being the click, and that undoes the click in Endgame that brings everyone back. I was like, I had to ask him, do you mean back to the hobby as in 90s collectors?
Yeah.
But yes,
sure.
Spark interest again in the hobby for another boom period. So there's a number of parts to this, and bear with me.
Boom period.
I would argue, for all the critique I gave of Upper Deck about 20 minutes ago, I would argue that we are in a bit of a boom period for cards, in terms of the fact there's never been as much product out there, either digitally via Tops or via Upper Deck on the physical side of things.
It's a niche boom, really. It is
very niche.
It's not a pulp culture. It's not a every kid in every mall, all this kind of stuff like it was in the 90s.
No.
It's very much a niche boom. This Marvel cards are for specific collectors.
Yeah.
And we are all here, all know each other. And
of them adults.
I think it's pretty rare to have new people come in. Like, you've been in here longer than I have. I mean, I've been around, but I haven't been around socially, and I hadn't been collecting as seriously. Like, I've always had my collection, but deep diving like I have, I was pretty new. 4 years ago? Oh my God, how long has it been? How old am I getting?
I'm about 12 years in. I kind of saw the hobby. The hobby drove past me in the 90s, and I waved at it. And we shouted at each other, and it kind of said, "I'll see you in another 15 years." And sure enough, 15 years later, we hooked up. And so since then, I've been going into it.
So we met when? 2 years ago?
I started the group in coming up 2 years on MCCW actually. So, and then Marvel Masterpieces Collectors. I can't remember which one you joined first because Marvel Masterpieces Collectors.
MMC, because I was looking for MM16.
So that was a couple of months afterwards. So we're probably coming up on 18 months.
Aww. So I won't
forget the anniversary.
I will. So maybe like
while you're
2
talking,
years before that, I was collecting roughly and stuff like that. So like a year and a half before that, I was collecting roughly. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't think a lot of new people come in that often, right?
No, but this is why I said the questions bleed into each other. In the interest,
100%, yeah.
We're of an age and a generation where the Marvel card collecting, the experience of it is indistinguishable from the physicality of it.
Yes.
In that we can't conceive of one without the other. It may well be that the Topps experience and the digital experience still ticks a lot of those boxes, but for the younger generation who don't have that affinity to having physical media. So, for example, there's an awful lot of people who don't simply, that I work with, who are in their 20s, who simply don't have a CD player.
Right, they store digitally.
Because they don't, for them, it's not an essential thing that it's a physical product. So I think that is a generational thing. So you joined the group. You joined MMC on Monday, the 9th of July, 2018 at 15:53 p.m., which actually is the wrong thing to say because you don't do 24-hour clock with PM afterwards. So, yeah. So you joined on the 9th of July, 2018.
Good memory.
Well, no, I just looked it up.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Yeah. So I don't know. Like for me, I think if you want that 90s boom to come back, where basically kids in malls are like picking up cards, because like Pokemon cards.
But that's the thing. They're doing it on their phones. That's 100%. The thing. The boom cannot
that's what we're
happen in
seeing.
The same way because that happened in and of itself. It's like Woodstock. You can't repeat Woodstock because Woodstock 2 proved.
No, I think that's long and gone, and I think Ian's 100% right. That boom is on the phone. That's a digital space. Honestly, even if you saw packs at Target, if Disney got their hands on doing Marvel cards, would I think they would participate in that kind of boom and try to bring that back? I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know if that would become a thing. The cards would have to be infinitely cheaper and they would have to be way more widespread.
Yeah.
And I don't think that kind of collecting would be taken as, and this is going to be horrible to say, and Ian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, as serious by the collectors that are in it now. And not serious is really a wrong thing. Here's the thing, right? A lot of the collectors,
the same legitimacy.
Yeah, like a lot of the collectors that Ian and I deal with, and for me, I definitely, and this is going to sound pompous, but I definitely consider myself more of a premium collector, in the sense that the product has to be on the level of a premium product, meaning one of one sketches, plates, high dollar value. Like for me, that's what ticks my boxes. So I think, would I participate? 100%. But would it be as serious as this other stuff? Probably not.
Yeah.
But that's just me, though. That's just me.
It's interesting, though. In different territories, they do it in different ways. In the UK, the company that have the license for Marvel cards is Panini Italy. And their cards are much, much cheaper, and they're aimed at a younger age, but they're mainly MCU focused, but they are much, much, much more affordable, and they're in newsagents and newsstands, but they're not the American trading cards, which are primarily what I and most people collect. And I think that the Marvel trading cards are very much hand in hand with that Americana thing, and that a lot of people don't consider them legitimate Marvel trading cards unless they're the American issued and published thing. And
so true,
because Marvel is an American company and the comics are about, ultimately the majority of them are set in America or versions of America, and same as with DC. You've got Metropolis, you've got Gotham, you've got New York.
Very U.S. locations.
It is a very, very American form of storytelling. Not that it doesn't exist in other parts of the world, but Marvel specifically is a very American thing. So a lot of people, it's the whole thing that goes back to comics about pence and cents on comic books, which I've talked about before. I won't collect an American comic book if it's got pence price printed on it. I want the copy with the cents price printed on it.
Yeah.
For me, comics are an American thing.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's funny, which is why it's interesting. I'm willing to do that for Star Wars. I'm willing to buy the UK version of the product.
That's
but
cool.
I'm interested that I've now got here that you sent me the corresponding US version of the same product. So I'm going to side by side them and just see if there are differences in the quality, if there are differences in the print quality.
I would love to see that collection.
Different. So yeah, I've yet to do it. That's literally there as where I put it from your mail call, but that's something I'm going to do. And hopefully it's something that I'll be able to talk to Greg about. So Greg, anyway, basically what this tells me, Greg, is that you are down with the kids, sir.
You're hip.
Very much down with the kids. But yeah, it just doesn't tickle me. It doesn't appeal. The thing is, whenever I open a card on ePacks, even the digital ones, I know that it's eventually going to lead me to a physical card, which I'm plotting and planning to get to me physically, and I can't wait to sort them. And that part of the collecting experience, I'm then looking forward to doing, which is a different phase of the collecting. One last question then. This goes back to Kevin St. Jack. Kevin, number one. Kevin. Good evening, Kevin. He's asked, for the most part, we don't see sudden growth in value of individual Marvel trading cards like there is in sports cards or comic books. Why do you think that is? And I think we've kind of answered it by degrees, which is why I emphasized a few things earlier on. It's the sports card world is much, much, much bigger. Now, Kevin, you know a lot more about sports cards than me.
Yeah.
I'm only recently dabbling in. But sports cards, there are entire businesses built around the breaking and selling of sports cards. Like lots of them.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't name a single one that does the same for Marvel. And very few that do it for non-sports.
No, it's really rare to, and I've seen them do it at that level, like especially non-sport something ID, eBay ID, when they were breaking MM18 product, they were selling the Reds. I think you remember, but nothing on the level of sports. Yeah. He just posted a picture too about sports collectors buying the same card, like the same insert in massive quantities.
Yes,
quantities.
Sorry, carry on. Sorry, it's just
no. I was just going to say. I guess. So what does he mean by individual?
So we don't see sudden growth in value of individual Marvel trading cards like there is in sports cards, and I think I was listening to, and Kevin actually put me onto this, and I've listened to a couple of them now. Hobby Hotline is a live. They do it live.
I have to do that
by streaming. So it's actually quite interesting because they the stuff they talk about, and a lot of the stuff they talk about doesn't apply to non-sports in any way. And one of the key things that they talked about yesterday was people who buy cards for investment. And the example that they gave was someone who bought a card of a player who's just been doing really well. And they bought it for $9 and then they sold it the next day for $20. And someone said, well, that's not investing. That's day trading. That's flipping it. And that's not long-term stashing it away, laying it down in your cellar.
What investing is considered, right?
And I think that is a very interesting point. And the point they made is that because sports cards are, and they said this, no other hobby, no other area of collecting is touched in the same way, is that the value of a card can change overnight depending on something entirely out of anyone's control, which is how well a player or team, but usually a player, does in a particular sporting event.
So if there's a parallel to that in the Marvel world, thank you for explaining that, by the way. That was beautifully said. I understand now because my sports knowledge is garbage. So
that's not the end of my sports knowledge.
That was impressive. I was very impressed.
I'm borrowing their content.
No, I love that. Actually, it's funny. My next door neighbor was a baseball player and collected baseball cards, actually. So that's a little segue into this in terms of my sports knowledge. So when you look at non-sport pieces, right? And you look at some major hubs. Let's take some major hubs. Magic the Gathering. There is a card value that increases with Magic the Gathering. And there is something that does determine a card's worth overnight. And usually it comes in the form of what has best playability. What's going to do better in games, what's been suited to find a really good deck. So if there was a competition, someone won with a big deck, the cards that were in that deck
A
actually
big what,
on...
sorry?
Huh?
A big what, sorry?
A big what? Can you see it? Anyway,
No.
So what'd you say?
Brilliantly done. Move on. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Well done. Well played.
So, for those decks, those cards get very expensive on eBay because suddenly someone won a championship, or we can start seeing how cards are going to play in competition and people go and try to make those decks. That happens similarly in Pokemon as well. Right? Any kind of game card, the value changes like that. If you're thinking about overnight kind of things that could possibly relate to the sports arena. Marvel, however, I think a parallel to that would be two things. One, how well a movie does. And
yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if a character was done really poorly, I can see a character falling out of favor. If a character was done really well, I can see a character becoming more popular, kind of like Mysterio had that little line with Far From Home. And I think also in Marvel, there's another way of doing it, and that's with artist popularity. We saw that with MM16. If there was a boom for premium collectors that Ian was talking about earlier in this niche hobby, it was when they decided to have Juiceco do another set. That is what brought the older collectors back into the hobby.
Yeah.
I think personally.
Yeah.
And I think that created an influx in the investing side of this, because I know a lot of people were holding a lot of MM16 cards and considering those long-term investments and grading them.
Yes.
I can't say who or how many or whatever, but I do know people who are doing that. And in fact, this is kind of why I've started getting Gem Mint 10s and BGS 9.5s or like 10 pristines for the old 90 cards. Especially 1996 Marvel Masterpiece, Julie and Boris. For me, getting a 10 of those cards, a proper 10 of my two servers, which I have, the double impact in the base.
Nice.
That was an investment moment where I saw them pop up on eBay. One of them has population 1, the other one has population 2, meaning that there's only 2 that have that grade and 1 that have that grade.
Oh, so really? Okay.
Very rare.
I've never heard that expression.
Yeah, they're pop 1, so population 1, population 2. So basically,
how do you find that out? Because surely that
you go to the website. You go to PSA's website, and they tell you. And Beckett does it too.
That's why we need Amanda.
Yeah, we do need Amanda. I'd love to get Amanda on here. She's so fun.
Amanda, come on the podcast. I've asked before.
She will. I mean, now with the quarantine, we should just set something up. We should hit her up. Because she could clue us in on it. She knows so much more than we do about this.
She's shy.
Very nice. So, that for me, getting those 90 cards and those grades, those are investments in my mind.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but in my mind, I see having a 10 on a card that's mass produced. See, doing that for me is a way of saying, okay, here's a card that's preserved. Here's the grade. The price will increase on this steadily. Because you have to understand, we're on 25 years now, right? We're over order past a lot of these dates of the cards that are considered 90 boom, 90s Marvel. So having them in those grades, more people are going to do it. Watch out for cards that are cut to size. Watch out for all that trickery and all that horrible stuff. But for me, if you're looking at investment, I say that's the way to make those 90 cards an investment.
Yeah, I think so. Kevin's asked a follow-up question. On that note, what would it take for the hobby to surge in popularity, maybe come close to sports cards? I don't think it's possible to do. I just think you've got to, I just don't think that I know from the number of listeners we have as a podcast,
it's not possible.
It's not, we are a niche thing. The Marvel cards are a niche thing. Non-sports is fairly niche compared to
I think Marvel and Star Wars are probably the biggest monsters of the non-sport world.
I'd argue Star Wars,
other than Pokemon and game cards, but I would say like collector cards.
Yeah.
it's not a coincidence that Marvel tries the game card route with Legendary series that Upper Deck does, which looks cool and all that good stuff. It's not a coincidence, they're trying to tap into that kind of market. But if we're talking just pure collector type of stuff in terms of no other function than just looking at it and reading the back of the card and seeing a power gauge meter once in a while and a cool effect, that's Star Wars and Marvel, really.
I love a power gauge meter. You can't go wrong.
Me too. I'm all about it. I get all giddy when I see one. Me and my friend Angelo, when I was a kid, we were neighbors. We get our cards from 1992 Marvel Masterpiece, and we just remember. And that's how we used to test each other. We'd be like, all right, what's Nightcrawler's energy projection level? And he would like name it, and we'd be like, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
But yeah, that's what we used to do back in the day. Love that power gauge stuff. So giddy for it.
We'll probably come back to this and talk about this more, actually, because I think we're just scratching the surface. I am deliberately trying to listen to more on the sports side of things, and I'm experiencing a lot of that through Twitter, just because I'm seeking to understand. And Greg, on his podcast, has had a couple of people from that side on as well, and I'm just trying to understand the differences. And the bottom line is the volume, the sheer volume of product in the sports market, even at any one tranche of it, like basketball or NFL or baseball or hockey, is absolutely staggering and just dwarfs. I mean, if you take 1 year's worth of NFL product, it dwarfs 5 years worth of Marvel product. Wow. It's stunning. It's staggering, the volume of product that comes out. And
that's so impressive.
The size of the sets and the different variations and the different parallels, they are vast. You think you're talking nothing of a 500-600 card base set, and I'm talking base before you go to parallels, before you go to numbered 1 in 49, 1 in 25, 1 in 10.
Do you feel like that is the difference between Marvel collectors and baseball collector or sports collectors? Is like sports collectors, do they go for full sets, or are they doing by players that they have and teams?
Both.
Wow.
Both. There was a guy that was on Greg's podcast, actually. I think it might be. I might be remembering this wrong. I think his name is Mike Sumner, and he's big on the sports side. I think he's got baseball, and he's chosen a particular product that comes out every year, and he gets a full set of all of it. And there are free releases to that product. So the first part comes out, and it might be X number of
there's multi-release products. That stuff's
and they
crazy.
do it throughout the year, depending on who's a rookie, who then gets hot, who might go off injured, who might be traded. Do you see what I mean? So you can see players.
Wow. You can see their history.
Yeah, because it's so fluid. This is why the whole game dated moments thing exists on Upper Deck, because it's play that's happened in the last week.
Oh, I see now.
You see what I mean? So
I do.
Like,
that's clear.
Why
that makes a lot more sense.
So it is much more fertile ground ultimately, and people are much more with sports things. It's a much more tribal thing. Is a much more of a feeling of belonging. It's much more part of your cultural heritage, where you've come from. There are people that I work with who come from Manchester who are madly passionate about Manchester United and will be until the day they die. Wow. They live in another part of the UK, but that's because it's in their DNA, it's in their blood.
How cool.
And we're and sports does that because it's very much a community. It's the same kind of mental thing as being in a gang.
Yeah, well, also too, and I get what you mean by that, but also too, and I'm just saying baseball cards to say baseball cards, but baseball cards, especially in America, if you say you collect cards, they're like, oh, what team? Because everyone thinks it's baseball or sports.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I go up to someone and be like, I collect trading cards. They're not going to be like Marvel or non-sport. That doesn't exist.
There's a reason a team bag is called a team bag.
Right. I mean, it's true, right? It's. I feel like card collecting. When you say card collecting, it's always sports card collecting, and I think that's always because it's always one of those hobbies like, oh, collect stamps, collect coins, collect baseball cards. It's always part of that vernacular of the society, right? It is. Those are the hobbies you go to.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I think to a lot of degree, a lot of sports card collecting starts very young in America, especially, and in the UK, because it's part of that, because the other kids at school were doing it, because you saw what the game was, and you were taken to the game by your parents, or you watched it on TV in a household. And so the sports cards are much more affordable, and it's something that people get. It's kind of part of your upbringing. It's so much part of your culture. Marvel cards aren't that.
No. And I think if they were ever going to be that, the boat's gone. Because if there is ever this kind of community thing that you're talking about here, where like fathers and sons go to, or like mothers and sons or mothers and daughters going to baseball games and all this kind of cool stuff, it would have happened when the movies were coming out. And the pack should have been there when people were experiencing the 10 years of Marvel. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to get those kind of allegiances and those kind of community moments, like that should have been in line with those, and those could have been readily available, because then it is like going somewhere to experience something larger. You know what I mean?
But the fact that you're still now only just having the Endgame Captain Marvel set come out, a year after the movies, it's just you've missed the moment, which is why Tom's
it's indicative.
Really because they are aware of the fact they can't produce a full set, so they produce Journey to the Rise of Skywalker. So you've got something you can enjoy as part of the lead.
Smart, but see, that's following the sports
Rise of Skywalker set. Yeah, exactly, and they're putting stuff in market that will scratch that itch for people at an affordable price. That blaster box was $19.99.
Yeah, that's why I bought it.
A lot of cards in there.
No kidding. Greg told me about it. I was like, that's kind of cool. Went to Target, saw one, got excited. It's $20 later.
At an affordable price, someone can have that, and someone's going to really dig that, and it's brilliant.
And you can build that massive
Marvel side.
100%. And that's how you build a set and loyalty, is that everyone's having this experience. Who doesn't have the excitement of seeing a movie before it comes out with the trailers and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Similar to what they're doing with The Mandalorian, right? On Upper Deck, and it wasn't, as massive, but on Upper Deck, they had, here's the cards for the trailer. Here's season 1. Here are some cards, a card packet of like 5 cards or 10 cards, I think it was. And this is for episode 1 of season 1.
Yeah. And that's for the collectors like you and me.
Right.
That's the key difference.
That's the key difference.
Blaster box that I'm holding, that I'll put a picture of on the tasting notes, is for the kids, for the families, for the new people into the hobby. Right. So what they're doing is they're doing it at both ends of the market.
Smart.
And I'm not seeing that in Marvel cards.
Unfortunately, I don't either. And it's not like the popularity is not there. I mean, I always take a look at the statue side for premium collectors and like how Marvel kind of integrated itself in terms of on the collectors front, and Funko, really. Excuse me. Like the way
don't swear, don't use that F word.
I'll have to calm myself down. To collect that stuff, I see new collectors and statues and Funko Pops all the time getting into these characters, and they're picking these pieces up and spending a lot of money on this, and really nice pieces.
Crazy money. Yeah.
Crazy money. Crazy money. And, really going ham on this stuff. It's just, I see them picking up new collectors a lot more frequently than people who get into the card hobby, especially on the Marvel end.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
One last question, because I've got a couple of things I want to do before we wrap up. And this is brilliant. We should do this more often.
Yeah, I love it.
Fun facts about the host. Frank Narnia. How do you pronounce your surname, Frank? Anyway, Frank's an honorary member of Character Club.
The man.
And his dog, Mother of Dragons, Khaleesi.
So cute.
Fun facts about the hosts. Let's just do one each. What am I going to tell you? Well, I'll do mine first, because it's been popping up all over my timeline, and it's the just over 5-year anniversary of going to Las Vegas with a load of ticket agents and all the production team of Billy Elliot Musical, and going to see Elton John at Season, then having dinner with him afterwards.
That's so cool.
And everyone I went with was just popping like photos up, because he was playing at Caesars, and basically we all got to go up on stage and dance around the piano during the Saturday night.
What?
At the end, and then just had dinner with him. So I've got a photo of me with Elton John somewhere around. I'll put it on the taste.
Okay, share.
Yeah, so that's fun. That's fun facts about the hosts.
Well, that sucks. I should have gone first. What the hell's that, man? What am I supposed to do with that? Dancing around a freaking piano with Elton John.
Well,
I'm over here about to share I don't know, my latest zit. I don't know.
That was a fun fact. I'm just naming.
Oh, super fun. No. It didn't make you look really cool or anything. And it was just a fun little, cute little thing.
But there's a photo of me at 20.
You with hair. is a very different experience, Ian. It's
Oh,
nice.
I've got a photo of me with lots of hair from when I was.
Man, I'm gonna go
17.
bald. I know I'm gonna go bald. I'm so
You're
mad.
doing all right. You're doing all right. So that was this whole hashtag me at 20.
That's crazy.
A photo of me on my 21st birthday on them. I've still got that T-shirt actually.
That's awesome.
So this is a video of us on stage with Elton John that someone's just tagged me in and posted. But what I was going to find, I'm not going to find that now anyway.
Oh, I gotta do the album thing. Damn it.
Over to you, dear.
Over to me. Fun fact about me. Okay, I got one. It's not as cool as Elton John, but I used to work. This is dorky. Well, not dorky. I used to work at a wildlife center.
Oh,
I did that for 5 years. Yeah, I worked with alligators and Bernese python and some bald eagles and stuff like that. So yeah, I was the reptile guy. So I took care of our 6-foot alligator and our dwarf alligator, which was really cute. It's a full adult alligator that's only maybe 8 inches or a foot.
Okay.
It was. I called him Gambit. So you're welcome. Welcome, Wildlife Center.
Wonderful.
But yeah, there's a fun fact.
That's absolutely hilarious. I'm not going to find this Elton John photo anytime soon because look how many photos I've got on Facebook. It's
nice photos, though.
I've got lots of lovely photos on Facebook. So while I'm sharing screen with you, thank you, Frank. We'll share more at some point. I was going to show you. That's a photo. That's me when I was.
I love you on that swing.
My dad.
That cracks me up. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of the only photos I've got of my father and me. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. And that's my brother, who's 5 years older than me. But yeah, I'm 4 or 5 in that photo.
Wow.
My father passed away when I was 9, so I don't have many photos of him.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my dad. Anyway, pack of the week.
Pack of the week. Okay, do you want me to do the pack of the week?
No, I've got some.
Damn it. Let's do it.
So I've got a confession to make.
Scandalous.
I've broken my spending freeze. And I shouldn't have, but I've broken my spending freeze. I did some creative accountancy and I managed to afford to dive into the Daredevil. Upper Deck have got a sale. Buy one, get one free.
Shit.
And I did some Daredevil. And I'll show you what I've pulled in a moment because I've pulled some extraordinary stuff already.
Really?
Yeah, and I've got 4 more packs to open. Let me show you my hits so far. And I've kept these under my radar because I'm a little bit embarrassed because I shouldn't really have bought any, but I have. So it's tough.
Let's see it, man.
The interesting thing, Daredevil seasons 1 and 2. This product is, and it's been on e-pack for quite a while. I think it was a physical release first, and then it went to e-packs. Basically, the base set is 100 cards, and then you combine 5 of those to get a red tint parallel.
Oh, cool.
Kind of the same. So the base set is very much like Flare in that you can't get the base set as it was in packs. You can't get that on e-packs. It's a different thing.
Right, I see.
So then you get a red tint parallel, which is exclusive to e-packs, and there's a red foil parallel, which is the same card. But if I bring it up on screen, you'll see that it's got this red DD symbol on it.
Oh.
You see that? Which I am actually going to go for. And then numbered to 299. So that's
cool.
Just there.
I love the back.
Yeah. So I am going to go for that set because red for me is the Daredevil color.
Yes.
As it would be for
I agree.
And also because it's a slightly easier variant to collect. So I'll
move over yellow.
Yeah, I'll do the red tint. Well, no, then you get to yellow, which is also numbered.
Damn it.
And I've only got a few of these, and I think they trade quite well because there's not that many of them on e-packs.
You do have a few of them.
Look at that yellow.
Oh, they look good.
No, I'm not keen on the yellow. I
like the red better, but I think it looks good.
I like how they've made it work.
They incorporate into the depth of the card,
But yeah, they're numbered to 99. You can see that numbering shows better because it's a yellow foil.
Right.
And then you have a really limited one, which is...
I feel like red in person always looks so much better than on the photos.
I'll go for the red.
So crisp.
So the yellow and the speckle are up for trade, and I've only pulled 3 speckle foils, and they're red flashes because they are limited. So here's the speckle. There you go. And we'll put these on the tasting notes, folks.
Cool.
And they're numbered to 49. So there's not that many of those. And, there's maybe 10, if that, on the trading marketplace of any one of these.
Some really good prices, man.
They should trade okay. So that's fine. So that's those. Then you've got these episodic art. And across seasons 1 and 2, I think there's 27 28 episodes. So what they've done is they've got an artist to do one card for each episode. It's the same artist. So
I like it.
And it's beautiful. And it's done in a frame, very much like
our boy
Marcus does his cards. So it's done with a picture frame, and it's got that season 1, episode 1, and it's got that there. But there's also a limited chase version of that where the artist has signed them and their canvas variant.
Oh shit!
Look at that. So that's this, because it's the same artist did all 27.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I don't know if they're numbered. Yeah, 49.
Yep, 49. Great numbers.
Times 27. So yeah, he signed a lot. Bless him. So I don't know who this artist is. Marco Santucci.
I don't know. Sounds familiar. I love his work.
I love his artwork. So I'm gonna.
Maybe he's an actual like storyboard artist.
Yeah, could be. Beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah.
Then you've got. Sorry, we're kind of going into Daredevil. And I didn't intend to, but it makes sense. Hell's Kitchen headlines. This is literally just like a Hell's Kitchen paper type thing.
Cute.
And it's nice. It's a nice little gimmick. So I like those. I'll probably collect those.
I like the gimmick.
Yeah, I like those. They're nice.
Very nice.
And then you have. There's only 5 of these. Lessons from Stick. Life Lessons from Stick. And they're okay. I mean, there's only 5 of them, so
he's a great actor.
Yeah, but he's such a good actor. And then this is the insert that I can't. Memorable moments I'll come back to. Speak the language I just can't get on with, so I'm not going to collect these. I just don't think it's a very good card design. So it's literally a picture of a character.
Oh, it's a quote.
A little blackboard. It's a quote from the character, and on the other side, it's translated it into another language. For some,
why?
That's the thing. Why does this card exist?
That's weird.
It just feels like an odd one. Anyway, but the memorable moments subset, and there's about 15 of them, and I really like them. They're comic art related.
Oh, shoot.
So they're like a history of Daredevil memorable moments. So this is DB4, which is Daredevil and Black Widow. And it's just beautiful. They're just really nice. And
those would have been cool as comic clippings.
Yeah, that's the one you could have done a limited variant of. But it doesn't exist. Anyway, memorable moments are going in for. The film sales, I think I've talked about.
I'm so tempted by doing film sales. I love film sales.
These are manufactured ones because obviously it was a series that wasn't made on film.
Right.
Manufactured ones. So there's that. And I've already got a load of these in hand that I bought from Stephen Vargas. Good evening.
Oh, yeah. I sent them to you.
That you sent to me. So I'm just kind of filling in the rest of that set, which is nice. There is a red tint variant of that.
Oh.
Which is really limited. I don't.
Oh.
Yeah. And I won't be collecting those because.
No. You don't want to go down that wormhole.
You ready for the big pull?
Oh, shoot. Here we go.
So they've got a film sale card that's also an auto card.
No, you did not. Did you really?
Frank Castle as the Punisher, yep. Boy, that flashed red in a very sexy way.
You got that artist signature? No way.
No, that actor.
I mean, I meant,
I mean, he is an artist.
Actor's signature.
Yeah, so I've got that. That's locked. Thank you very much. And they've also got some regular...
what a pool, man. What a pool.
They're called Rabbit in a Snowstorm because it's the picture that Kingpin likes the look of.
Oh.
And then, so I've got Ben Urich. I've got that actor. Vondi Curtis Hall. I've got that one. They're nice.
Oh,
really nice autograph cards. I don't know if it's sticker or on card, but I don't care because that doesn't really bother me. And then I've got the actress who played the Kingpin's kind of lady interest in season 1.
Wow.
Got 2 of those. So anyway, I've got 4 packs left because it was buy one get one free, and they're only $5.99 a pack. So it's kind of it's pretty.
That's a great buy.
So shall I? Let's open them.
Let's open them.
So I'm going to be doing 4 packs.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I hope you get the craziest cards, man.
All right, so let's do this.
I love the pack art too. I just want to put that out there.
So I want to be getting. I do want to get, and if anyone's got one, I'd love, because I know it was released as a physical set. I'd love like an empty box and some wrappers as well. If anyone's got any spare.
I wonder if we have any Daredevil fans.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if we have a character collector for Daredevil.
That I know. Well, we've got a potential new one for Elektra because Jay Lynn has decided.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that. That's funny.
So this might be the part of the episode that you choose to use as a video clip. by the way.
Done.
Which will save me a hell of a job on the tasting notes.
Yeah, we could do that.
So there we go. Here it goes. Right, first pack. So they do appear sideways. So this is, most of them are the digital base. I think you get 1, maybe 2 physical per pack. So you'll see them appear over there. Right, that's the physical one, which is a red parallel. You can see it looks different because it's a scan of the card as opposed to a photo. So that
you can see it in that top loader.
That's a red foil parallel of one of the base. That's another base. That's another base. So yeah, we go. There's a pack.
Oof.
I should probably screen cap these as I go. So let me just quickly do that. That's pack 1. Sorry. Oh, this is taking ages.
No,
Pack of the week.
Wow, what a cool little set. I don't know. I'm thinking about buying some packs. I don't know if I should.
Well, it's a bog. So you spend $5.99, you get 2 packs. So it's worth a shot for that.
That is worth a shot. That's nice.
Yeah, I think the sale ends this evening. So let me open the next pack. Come on, there we go. Let's do this one. Right, that's a base.
That's cool.
That's a base. Usually the third card is the one. No, not third.
No.
Fourth. Right, that's one of those episode art ones.
Nice.
Can't see what episode that is because you can't look at the card that closely during. Okay. Oh no, it just turns it over. Season 2, episode 8, Guilty as Sin episodic art. Insert's called.
I wish there was an icon on here that told you, like in your set thing, if you were missing it or if it was a double.
Well, you see that when you click on Show All Your New Items down there.
Oof. Damn.
Yeah, let me just save this. So I'm saving these images coming as I go for those people listening and not watching, so they can see the second pack of the week. Right, and because it's buy one, get one free, you're going to get 2 more.
Oh, yeah.
Right, pack 3.
Pack 3, baby.
1 and 2, trading card set.
5 cards per pack.
Right. Space card.
Sticks.
Stick. That is Electra and Matt Murdock.
Oh, yeah.
Theme cell, Red Flasher. Ooh. Thank you very much. Which one's this? It is number 14. I don't know if I need it or not. I might do.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Thank you. And that'll be the hit. So there's another base card and another base card.
Wow.
So that's all right.
That's a good hit.
Time this. So there we go. I can capture that when it's red flashing. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Nailed it.
Flashing. There we go. So
I love it.
Image. Sorry, people at home, while I save these images for you. It's all for you, Damien. It's all for you. We haven't talked about our intro artist yet.
We haven't.
I need to go and cook dinner soon. So
we got to talk about intro artists.
We have. Well, we could always park that intro artist and do repeat one this week.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Let's do that. Let's do a repeat one.
Yeah.
Which we don't normally do, but sooner or later you have to. So we can put someone awesome at the front of this episode. So who knows? Who will it be? Dealer's choice.
Yes.
Over to you, sir.
Who's the dealer? What?
Let's do Ray Lago.
I love Ray Lago.
Let's do Ray Lagos again. I don't think Ray. We didn't. We used you quite early on.
Why not?
We had a lot of great people in the first sort of 20 episodes, and
we definitely did.
Kind of didn't get our act together in terms of giving them shout outs and stuff until we were almost that far in. So Ray, thank you very much for doing the intro to this episode, and we will save the other young fella who we had lined up for another time. So let me just last pack. Ooh. That's a nice one. That's base card. That's when the people got poisoned, and that's Kingpin holding the lady that he's fond of. There we go. There's a memorable moments, which is I think that's where that's issue 1. I think volume 1, issue 1. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Memorable moments. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. His yellow costume. And first appearance. Yeah, it's his first appearance. Brilliant. There we go. So I just saved that last pack. So that's a nice little run of 4 packs. So if you'd spent $12 on that, and you got film cell, plus those digital cards, plus a memorable moments, plus an episodic art, it's all right. I
think it's really nice.
And if you happen to pull an auto, then your quid's in. There is a quad auto in the set, which has got Charlie Cox, Deborah Ann Wall, Electra, played by Elodie Young, and Elder Henson, who plays... Oh, shush, Alexa. Stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Every time I mention the character... Every time I mention Electra, it switches on my Amazon device.
Well, this is hilarious. Somebody just posted that. That's funny. So I think you saw John posted the Electra.
Oh, yeah.
Autograph. I just saw it. That's coincidental.
Yes. No, it is lovely. It is lovely. I saw him pull that. That's what convinced me to go in and try some.
Smart.
And then I was like, oh, no.
And then you pulled an amazing card.
And I pulled, I've maybe done 10 packs and I've got 20.
Wow, I can't believe you pulled that out of 10 packs. That's nutty.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do it all in one go. I went in and did a few nibbles.
So beast.
So I've actually done 20 packs because you get buy one, get one free.
That's still freaking awesome.
That'll do, won't it? So there we go. Thank you, everybody, for sending in your questions. You do realise, listeners, people who listen, you can do this at any time.
Yes, please.
You can send in questions at any point. You don't have to wait for me to prompt you. Having said that, it actually worked quite well. So thank you to Danny Simon, Robert Baker, Kevin St. Jack, Greg McLaughlin, Frank Nania. I want to say Narnia. I'm sure that's incredibly insulting, but he often sends me messages while he's sat on the toilet, so I don't mind.
I like Frank.
Norrin, it's been gorgeous.
Matt Fuller, thank you, brother. It has been gorgeous.
Of course, yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
It has been beautiful and wonderful.
And on that note,
enjoy collecting, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. You can subscribe via our home on anchor.fm/MCCP. Leave us a message via that link with questions, comments, or just to say hi, and we may even play on the show. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms. Our podcast is at the MCC Pod on Facebook and Twitter, and you can find links on our Facebook page to the two groups MCCW, Marvel Card Collectors Worldwide, and MMC, Marvel Masterpieces Collectors. On Instagram, find us at MM Collectors and at Sketch Card Hive. The great music we use is called Rocket Power by Kevin MacLeod. Thanks to the collectors, artists, and creators who support the Marvel Cards Fan Collective. We'll see you next time, and remember, it's a small hobby but a fun one. Make mine Marvel and enjoy collecting.
Enjoy collecting, everybody.